minutes.
Hey everybody, this is Chaos Afflicting. This is Charles Shoemake from our locals, and he's going to bring you Fables. And a lot of people diss on him, but he actually runs them really, really good. So here's the deck list.
Alright. Definitely you want to run 3 Grimro. Basically, it's your Rhoda for your Fabled monsters.
Alright, you want to turn them around so they could see it? Yeah.
Okay. This guy allows you to search out any one of your Fabled monsters. Why you would want to run Chawa is you discard any Fabled monster from your hand and special summon this. So basically, and most of your Fabled monsters, such as Ganesha, Cerberus, and Cruz, they have special summoning effects that kick off whenever you use Chawa's effect, or with any other discard outlet. So, say you have a Fabled monster on your field, such as you have a Ganesha, you can send Grimro to grave to add a Fabled monster to hand.
So he's a searcher. He's pretty much a searcher.
He's a searcher as long as you have a face-up Fabled monster on field.
Alright.
So, you go, and then you have Kashano or a Ganesha or Cerberus, because those are easy normal summons.
Yeah.
Use Grimro to add Chawa to hand, so you can start special summoning.
Yeah, so you go off using him.
Yes.
You set up and then go off.
Ganesha gets pumped by 400, by 200, so he becomes an 18 whenever he's discarded. He just gets removed from play whenever he leaves the field. But he is a great non-tuner that you could special summon. Cerberus is a very consistent level 2 tuner. He allows you to go for like synchro summon for 5s a lot, or anything higher. Cruz has a special little ability that allows you to, when it's discarded, special summon a level 4 or lower Fabled from your graveyard.
Yeah.
So say you have Kashano on field, and you send Grimo to grave to add Chawa, or to add Cruz. Use Chawa's effect to send Cruz to graveyard and special summon Chawa. Cruz's effect kicks off and special summons your Grimro. Sync 5, and you can go into Librarian, Catastrophe, or Reagan and get their effects off. And then after you're done with it, since you have a Kashano on field, sync into any one of your level 8s, like Stardust Dragon.
So pretty.
So.
Yeah, why don't do you run Fabled Raven any, or?
I don't run Fabled Raven because personally it doesn't really fit with the deck. It requires you to normal summon it or special summon it out some other way in order to kick its effects off. And personally, if you wanted to run something like that, you'd actually prefer to use Snipe Hunter because it's a dark monster. It's a level 4, and you get the possibility of blowing up your opponent's cards rather than just increasing Raven's attack and level.
And 4 out of 5, you're gonna pop their card.
It's actually 2 out of 3 because you roll a d6, and if it's a 1 or a 6, it does nothing. However, if it's 2, 3, 4, or 5, then you blow up one of your opponent's cards. It's great because it gets around Stardust, because Stardust ruled that if it does, like if a card would destroy it, then Stardust can negate. Since Snipe Hunter is not a guaranteed destruction, it gets around Stardust effects, so you can remove those big monsters.
So like Time Wizard also, like old classic.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Hey man.
Alright, personally,
My phone's been
because
offline.
you're running a lot of lights, there's a lot of dark monsters that run really well with it. So obviously, you can run Chaos Sorcerer and Black Luster Soldier.
Big brother and little brother.
They typically speak for themselves. BLS is great. He's just a giant V-stick. Chaos Sorcerer is really great too because you can use his effect to remove from play one of your opponent's monsters, and you get to special, like if you special summon a Cerberus, you can sync him off for a Stardust or like a Scrap Dragon or a Colossal Fighter. So now you have a monster that's permitted to attack after you remove their cards from play.
Yeah.
Alright?
See, I always wondered how Fables work.
Yes. Because you run a lot of little monsters, that's the thing about Fables, there are a lot of little monsters. That's why running these monsters are so good. You also should consider Gores. and Trigodias. Gores is great because it special summons a level 7 non-tuner token, and you kick off Chawa's effect. You can automatically, depending on how strong the token is, you can either sync off the token or the Gores with Chawa to go for one of your signature level 8s. So it can hit not only small synchro monsters, but big ones too. Trag is good because you can special summon him out on any battle damage, and you can make his level equal to 1 Engrave.
Yeah, Trag's always
it's a simple ability, but think about the synchro summoning options that
and
you
plus,
have.
plus you run so many levels that you could ditch and take over.
You have everything. And of course, since you're running a lot of different levels, stealing your opponent's monsters is also really good.
Yeah.
Alright. I run Tricky. He's basically a non-tuner version of Chawa. So it allows you to go Tricky into Cerberus, instant Black Rose Nuke. Or you can go into a personal favorite, which is specific to light types, Ancient Sacred Wyvern.
And just beat their face in.
His attack power is increased by the difference in you and your opponent's life points.
Yeah,
if
agents
if they have lower than you, he becomes bigger. However, he's a double-edged sword because if you have lower than what your opponent has, he's very, very weak because he loses that.
Yeah.
It's like it actually makes random techs like Magic Cylinder extremely devastating because then he becomes automatically 0 attack power. And if he's like an 8,000 attack beatstick by that time, you just gamed yourself. So use him sparingly, only when you know you have the OTK.
Yeah.
A great thing is
same one with agents.
If you can bust him out first or second turn and go right behind him with BLS, that is actually the OTK. You need to at least do 3,000 damage to your opponent. And this guy goes from 21 to 51. So you just did smack for 3,000. And then smack for 51, so you just did over 8,000 to them already.
Alright.
At least over 8,000. So I run Tricky, and also because you sync for 5s a lot, such as for your Librarian, Catasters, and Reagans, you're also permitted to run stuff like Tyrus. Tyrus is very, very good because he's a rank 5, and he cannot be destroyed by card effects. And whenever he attacks, or is attacked, if he attacks or was attacked, if he's still on field, then he gets to nuke one of your opponent's cards at the end of the battle phase. His ability to prevent himself from being destroyed only works when he has material on him, and at the end phase you do have to detach a material to the graveyard. That is good though, because if you feel like running Honest, he's a very big monster, and
good beat stick.
He's practically invincible from half of everything for the first 2 turns.
Yeah.
Even without that material, he's still really big and he has no vulnerabilities.
Yeah. He's kind of like that Zen Mains,
yes,
almost.
Zen Mains is really good.
He's like a beater of Zen Mains.
Oh yeah. One of the next big ones, it's one that just about everyone loves to play, and it does show a lot of work in here, but it has a bit more of a specific use, and that's Tour Guide. The thing about Tour Guide is that he makes you faster and not just more consistent. You can go into Tour Guide for Zen Mains, however, the main point is to bust out Kashano. If you're sitting on a hand full of Grimrose, and you have a Tour Guide, and you don't have a Fabled monster to normal summon to use your Grimrose effects, Fabled Kashano is a level 3 fiend, so you can go Tour Guide, special summon Kashano from your hand or deck, and just start discarding all of your Grimrose, so you can start getting into your synchro summoning plays.
And just go off.
So you can rank into either Zen Mains, because he's very consistent. Again, defense is one of the biggest problems this deck has, but you can get over it with a lot of different effects. Or you can go for more of an aggressive approach with Leviathan Dragon and just detach the Kashano you just equipped, and just start going into more of your discard outlets.
Yeah.
One of the things about Kashano is that you can discard a Fabled monster to graveyard to return this back to hand. So you could, if you top deck some cards, like a Cerberus or even your Ganasha, if I can find him. You have one of these too. You can discard Ganesha to add Kashano to hand. Ganesha's effect kicks off and special summons itself. Normal summon your Kushano, and you can sink into a Gaia Knight. We used to be able to sink into Brionic, but not anymore.
Sad face.
Or you can just rank into a big monster.
Yeah.
Or a Great Wall.
Well, actually, they're coming out with a new level 6 synchro that's going to take place of Brio. Have you heard about it?
Well, hopefully we get a lot of support with that. I don't know anything about that just yet, but with it being a synchro monster and I need a better level 6, we'll definitely be going into that.
Yeah.
Also, like Orient Dragon.
Orient Dragon is really good too.
Orient Dragon is a good one.
Sadly, with this format, most people want to play around with XYZ monsters, so Orient Dragon is a little limited on its targets.
Yeah.
But it's still a great option.
If you play against them rogue decks.
Oh yeah, it's like if you face up against a Fabled deck or you start facing up against really big ones, then you're running out of, like, you just want to be able to hit those options and everything.